right, good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully everybody can hear me. This is our first live stream, so we're gonna try things out. You can probably notice up on the screen, we've still got the powered by StreamYard icon up there. Trying this out, let me know how it goes with people coming in, and if it seems to work, I'll end up subscribing to this. It'll give me some more features, and we'll take that silly watermark off the thing. So just figured I'd try this one out. I've had a few people recommend StreamYard, so figured to try it. If you have questions as we go here in the live stream, what I'm trying to do with the channel is bring everybody kind of together a little bit more. We'll be jumping on from time to time with some live streams in order to ask some questions or maybe leave some comments, and I'll try and get a bit more of a community build here. It'd be great to kind of see. And I just wanted to use this time to go live when I have time, and hopefully I can catch people online to be able to share something that I've actually just kind of found or researched or found out. That's kind of the goal of it, to kind of keep it a bit more up to date. And what I did want to show today is a website that I found called Dividend Tracker. I'll pull it up on the screen, but it's called dividendhistory.org. Now, what I can do is I can actually share the screen here. So we'll share this here. I'm going to remove that. Obviously, live stream is we've started, and I'll put up the website link. It is dividendhistory.org. And this is a really great website that I found to research dividends. You can obviously go to each of the company's websites, each of the different, but this one also has a lot of the ETFs in there. Now, it doesn't have every single stock or ETF, but it's pretty extensive. I think the main ones for sure are all on there. There's some of the, maybe some more obscure ETFs that won't necessarily show up on this website, but it's really great. So on the first page, when you go in there, dividendhistory.org, it's going to give you kind of this is the latest kind of news update of companies that have made raises to their dividends. That's the front page. But where it really works quite well is obviously the dividend calendar, as you'll see here, and this will have it goes recently, so you'll see what dividends are coming up. It basically sorts it by the ex-dividend date, so the day before the dividends. If you own the stock, you'll get paid, and then I'll show you the date of pay. So this is kind of a good way if you're maybe trying to get a stock, I guess, at the last minute before the dividend is paid. You can go and see if you're holding off or whatever reason, but you can actually scroll through and has a list. Now, it doesn't show obviously every stock in here, but it must have some kind of search that shows a lot of the main ones that you'll have heard of. And it's probably the flags make it handy if you invest in Canadian stocks, because you can scroll down, you can see the Canadian stocks that are on there as well. Now, where it works really well though is the search, and because you can search for basically any company. So one of the popular ones on the channel is Telus, and you can see it's got both US Canadian. We'll go to Canadian, and it gives you basically all of the breakdown. You can look at all of the dividends from the past going up to the estimated or unconfirmed ones, which are coming forward. So it's a good way to kind of research, to kind of know what's getting paid and when you're going to get paid. And in the top part here, it will give you some little bit of news if there's anything happening in terms of dividends on the company. It doesn't give you company news at all, but it's a handy way to track down and search for your different dividends. And you can also go through, you can dig into more with dividend reports, and you can browse different stocks. But I find this works quite handy just for the search, to figuring out, because sometimes you can't, especially the ones that are quarterly or something like that. Like, for example, we have the VDY is the Vanguard. This one is monthly, so this does pay. It'll tell you frequency monthly, but it's VFV that it pays quarterly, but it'll give you an idea of when the stocks are going to be paid the dividends. So it's kind of handy when you sometimes forget, because there's no really notification in Wealthsimple other than when you actually receive that dividend. So it's kind of nice to see. This will show you what's coming up. And we'll take that off, and we'll take that off. And we've got a few questions here. Adam, Nadia's here. So hi, Nadia, welcome to the channel. Something a little different here. And he calculates using his calculator. So yeah, there's some spreadsheets out there of Adam. I know some YouTubers do have certain spreadsheets that they put into the thing. I'm not advanced with that by any means. And I could probably be more advanced to kind of track it, to see. That's websites more to kind of find out what's coming and what's getting paid. But you can you can definitely get really advanced. There's certainly some really advanced spreadsheets out there. My biggest thing is I think I'm maybe too lazy to start inputting into spreadsheets. It almost seems daunting. Maybe someone who's watching this that has a spreadsheet can share kind of the best one that they use, something that's maybe a bit more simpler that you can just plug in some numbers. I do wish Wealthsimple had a bit better dividend tracking. That would be kind of nice, but I guess, hey, it's free, so you can only ask for so much, I guess. But good, that's a good question. You got some funds there, Vadim. 4 index funds, 20. Oh, that's great. $170. VTI, BFE, CHD, and XIC. Excellent. $170 quarterly. Nothing wrong with that. And the other website, I can go in here. Let me just go back and pull it up. I've kind of found this one for news. We can share. Is a lot of the news that I normally get just from, I found Yahoo to be kind of my favorite. It's pretty simple to set up your watch list that you have different stocks on there. And it's got a good, usually a pretty good news section. Not so much, I find it really, they have a really good app on the phone. So if you are using your cell phone for reading news, I find the cell phone app of Yahoo Finance works really, really well. I kind of find it really handy, and it breaks down what it will actually do. Is if you have a watch list of your stocks and investments in ETFs, anything like that, if you have it set up in your watch list, the news feed will kind of, the algorithm uses that to pull any news that is relevant to the stocks that you own. So it's a good way to kind of get the news releases and stuff like that on your mobile phone. It's just a matter of setting it up. For that, you do have to have an account to set up if you are having stuff on your watch list. But what it does is it breaks it down on your watch list, and then when you scroll down on your phone, the news that it pulls up is basically related to those stocks and ETFs that are in your watch list. So kind of handy. And Haas, so CNBC app is great as well. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. I'll note that one. That one I haven't looked at yet. So let me know if anybody else uses that, or if anybody else has some apps that they use. That would be interesting. So, and Vadim's with the Yahoo Finance phone app. So yeah, it seems to work handy, and it does have some kind of annoying ads sometimes when you're scrolling through, but I mean, other than that, it's free. So it seems to work pretty well. And the prices are like, it has live pricing now. Wealthsimple has live pricing when you hit the refresh button, but the Yahoo app also has live pricing if you're looking for different prices. So it seems to be it would be nice, I think, if there was maybe some more. I noticed that Wealthsimple is putting a bit more news on their app in the stocks and stuff, but it's really buried down there, so it's kind of not really kind of handy to find. Stock Addict, welcome. Lots of comments. I appreciate joining in. Stock Addict. So Telus to the moon. Yeah, everything. Let's just see here. Everything has actually been doing quite well the last couple of days. So it's kind of nice to see some green in that red for so long. Whether how long this will stay, who knows? But Telus has been doing quite well today. Let's just see what it's doing today. I haven't looked too closely yet. Yeah, everything I'm just looking on my watch list. Everything that I have is green today, which is, if you've been following along the channel, it's not been the greatest, but I think everybody's been in the same boat. So Telus, yeah, almost 1% today, so that's handy. Market's still open, which is great. I'm not going to do a ton of market commentary on the channel, but it's nice to see that there's some green, and there's some green on the horizon. Maybe I did do a purchase today, a small deposit. So if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. You'll follow along. But I did purchase some VTY1 and the VFE. So the two ETFs of my portfolio. I purchased more of those. Nothing major, nothing super exciting, but it's a nice average cost is going to come down. So that's great. And yeah, CMC really, I was looking at that one today, and it's almost like I was looking at it, and I was like, it's not worth selling because it's not worth anything anymore. But it's also, then I also looked at it and going like, if I had it, maybe an extra little bit to put in there, it might be okay. So I don't know. I'll see what happens. I don't think I have to rush into that one. It's always, I think in the future, it might be something that will really start to take off, but we'll see. I don't think you have to rush into plunking anything down on that next little bit, but it's one of those ones that could overnight all of a sudden was crazy. But just again, that's more of a fun kind of gambling. There wasn't a lot of investment money in there, and it's up to the point where, like I said, I think it's down 95% or something, but it wasn't a big chunk in there, but it's not worth doing anything except maybe buying some more, but not advice to do anything. Anthony 95756, thanks for joining. Asking the question, what kind of cold wallet do I use for crypto? I'm trying to look for safer options. So yeah, I don't talk about it a lot on the channel. I mean, obviously you see the investment that I have in the ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum, Anthony, but I do have other investments in digital currencies, and I would recommend I use the I have to unplug it here for the cold wallet. It's a Ledger. It's handy. That's the Ledger. Oh gosh, I think it's the Nano X. So I use that one. That would be one to maybe check out. They're not that expensive. There's a couple of different models that you can use. I got the X because it had a bigger screen at the time, but I think they have a new model since then. But pretty handy. It actually is quite easy to transfer money. I know some people have. There's Wealthsimple has crypto on there, but I don't really have anything on there. I had some Bitcoin on there, which is transferred out. That's transferred off the exchange. But I mostly used Shakepay, and it's really handy to transfer out as well. So you transfer it out to your cold storage, but pretty easy. But I would definitely recommend taking something like that for safety, for sure. Especially with all that's been going on. I don't really talk about crypto a lot on the channel, but yeah, but good question. And let me see, we've got 6 people watching. It's awesome for the first time, so that's great. It's nice to have some people on, have some questions. If anybody has any quick questions, I'd be happy to join. I'm not really on any time frame here. I was probably going to jump on for 15-20 minutes, so we start at 12:30 before we go to about 1, so Pacific time for me. That would be great. We'll if you have any other questions, and yeah, no problem, Anthony. Yeah, happy to help. You can buy them you can buy them directly from the website. That's kind of what they do recommend. Don't buy it from like some random website. But if you get one, it comes all sealed and everything else. So you have to, when you do set them up, you have to register it through right on the company like Ledger website, and so it's pretty secure. Just make sure you're getting one that's not like, don't buy a used one from someone or something like that. You want to make sure you're pretty setting up a new one. But good question. eBay sells them too, right from the Ledger store there. And I think that's pretty safe to buy off of there, as long as you're making sure your key comes sealed and everything else. It's all shrink wrapped, and you can definitely tell if it hasn't been tampered with. So good big question from Stock Addict 27. Let me read this here. Paying for plus and being saving a ton commercially, picking up lots of tech. US side. So I have, you know what? I that's a good question. I do have some on my watch list. But a lot of it's interesting. Like a lot of the ones I have on my watch list are kind of covered within the ETF. So unless I really wanted to buy an individual stock, like, I mean, for example, Tesla or something like that, but then there's also the CDRs. So you can buy them on the Canadian side. So I don't really know the advantage over one or the other. I think I would rather probably own the actual stock on the US exchange, but that's just probably in my head that actually makes maybe any difference. I don't know. Maybe someone can answer that if they're watching, maybe knows a bit more than I do. But there is no also though some of the tech is really interesting right now to watch, because a lot of it is down. There's some good, some of those. I mean, if you're that type of an investor, Stock Addict, like some of the ARC ETFs and stuff are way down. And if you think that if your time frame is right, I think it might be okay. Those are some of the ones I've looked at as well, but I just haven't really pulled any triggers on my TFSA yet. Just kind of really started out, so I'm kind of just learning and getting comfortable with what I have. So I haven't made the jump into US, other than I guess the only US funds I have would be what's going into that. I do have that. If you watch that video within the venture fund, that is right now converted into US dollars. So it's it's in a high dividend, like a high yield US savings account right now. So that's the only thing I have, but that's not really the same. I know you're kind of getting sidetracked, completely kind of different. So, but that's a good question. So what else, if Haas is asking, what else is he stock addicts been buying? It's interesting to see what people are getting. Everybody's, I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily any bad, well, there's always bad things, but if you have some in your portfolio, I think that is down. Like, I mean, mine, you see it, and everybody, I don't think nobody's saved from this. There's not, if you have the convictions, I guess, with your, with what's in your portfolio now, there's probably, and everything's kind of down. I don't think it's a bad time to buy any of them if you're able to. That's just safe. But again, you don't want to put everything, all of your eggs in any one basket. You don't want to make sure you're putting in more than you can afford to possibly lose or not need, right? Look at your time frames, like everybody else is, and I guess on the good side, I mean, with rates gone up, we're at least making a little bit more if you're not sure, to make that plunge on and buying more of anything, put it in your savings account. At least we're making a little bit more money on that one, which is nice. So Stock Plus. So yeah, so a few people are saying Plus. That's good to know. I think he does so multiple trades. Yeah. Oh, okay, so if you're holding more, it's not necessarily worth it. Yeah, it's probably I guess it may work out. Like, depending on how much you use it, it might just kind of work out. It might seem to work better for maybe something that's not registered, that you're going to be trading a bit more on. Probably makes more sense if you're going to be doing that. But if it's something in your TFSA, I guess if you're just using it in your TFSA, it maybe doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I don't know. I kind of looked at it and I thought, what's the money could be, because I don't have any US stock, so I guess it was we'll see. So yeah, it's down. Everybody's down. Yeah, that's like me. I mean, I haven't checked today, but it was around that part. I mean, it's a good day today to look, I guess, would be the best thing for everybody. But yeah, everybody's down. But again, you could be the most conservative investor and have been down. So I think what I've been doing is just not making any rash decisions. The worst thing you can do is make any rash decisions. I mean, if your portfolio, mine is for retirement, and buying them, I wasn't planning on needing the money for something right away anyway. So if it goes down, it's kind of like, you don't like it to go, no one likes it to go down, but it's just, like you said, average dollar cost average. And keep it, I don't get the people that, if you panic, that's when you make the worst decisions. It's the same as buying things when everything's going up. I mean, it's hard. You get wrapped up in that enthusiasm, and you're probably overpaying for things. You think of it the same the other way. You get it goes down, and you get wrapped up in that. It's that mind game that you are panic and you sell at a loss. And it's like, well, if you're thinking 5 to 10 years down the road with a lot of at least in my portfolio, hopefully it's just a bump in the road. Hopefully it's a smaller bump than, doesn't go on forever, and it never does go on forever. You just have to kind of have patience, I guess, would be the best thing that I've kind of learned with this. Nothing's going to happen overnight, and stock at it. No. So yeah, it is definitely very speculative. I've looked at, I mean, this is why I haven't bought it, because it is. I mean, I buy crypto, I buy Bitcoin, and I see that, and I get scared. So go figure, right? I mean, I think I looked the other day and it was down 60 something % for the year. But I mean, again, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to know. Yeah, I haven't touched it yet, but I guess if you have the risk tolerance, it might be something to look at, maybe. But I haven't dug that deep into it. I like the tech side of investing a lot. I kind of but I think I kind of lean more towards cryptocurrency in that regards, as opposed to more like, I know ARK is a lot of the pharmaceuticals and stuff like that, but we'll see. So I stay away from that. But Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Home Depot, yeah, they'll I don't think you'll do well. You'll do bad in that tech space. One thing that interests me, there's an ETF called stock at it called Mesh, and it's a Canadian. It's all a kind of metaverse ETFs, and I've had my eye on that one too. But it's a lot of tech companies like that. It's Microsoft, Apple. It's, I think, maybe only 25 companies. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that by any means. But it's like Apple, Nvidia, Disney, Roblox, I think. A lot of the big tech companies you'll hear of, but they're fairly concentrated holdings in the ETF of that one. Might be something to look at. Might be up your alley, but I've seen that one. There's no shortage of ETFs, that's for sure. There's one for everything, and you can go crazy, I think, looking at all these ETFs and stuff. I'm gonna keep my two that I have. Well, I have three, I guess. I have the Bitcoin yield index ETF, that ETF, and I think that will be a good long-term. I think that'll be a good long-term hold. We'll see. So there we go. Getting close to it now. Time flies. Half an hour goes so quick when you're yapping on a live stream. So hopefully everybody found this useful. I know there's a few people that have joined on that haven't commented on the channel yet. So it's great to have some new viewers hopefully joining and commenting maybe for the first time, or maybe they are viewers and I just don't see that they just haven't never commented. So it's great to have that join on, and it's great to have some of the regulars show up as well. We had Nadia here and Stock Addict 27 who's regular on the channel, which is really nice to see. So that is definitely really appreciated. So hopefully if you want to see more of these, it's always appreciated. Just leave me a comment and say, hey, jump on when you can. I don't know, we're not maybe planning on doing anything super scheduled. I don't think that's the greatest. I know there's some great YouTubers out there that do regular live streams on certain scheduled times. I just kind of hopefully plan to grab some time when I have, able to grab a coffee, sit down, spend a half an hour with the community and kind of share it that way. So hopefully you find it useful as well. And when you are available, you can join on and see this. And if you're catching it in the replay, check out some of the comments. And it's always great to have everybody that joins along. Let me have a sip of coffee. But if there's any more questions I see pop up, we'll try and answer them. Other than that, if you are still watching, make sure you do hit that like button. I know everybody likes to hit the like button. It really helps the channel. I just wanted to thank everybody that is joining the channel. So almost 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Just over 900. So thanks to everybody that is joining along. We will have an updated video. I'll record my updated video tomorrow. I think the market is still doing well, so it should be a green, nice day to share. Hopefully you found that website useful. I'll pop it up one more time here so you can just see the link, dividendhistory.org. Check it out. Really handy to check out what dividends are happening and what you're going to be receiving. And definitely a good research tool if you're looking for different stocks and ETFs to figure out what they actually possibly pay and when they pay. So dividendhistory.org. Thanks for watching, everybody. And what I'll do is, like I said, I'll record that other update video. It'll be green. That's going to be nice. Hopefully everybody's portfolio is having a good day. So let's cut it off there. I do appreciate everybody, and we'll catch you in the next video.